Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to remind them, to remind the Ummah and the nation that you have only to remind people about the religion, the day of judgment, the deeds, the punishment, and everything. And that's all that you have to do. The rest is upon them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the jinn and the humans for one purpose, as he mentioned, just to obey him and worship him. He does not need us. He does not need from him anything. We all actually in need of him. He doesn't need to be fed. He doesn't need to be reminded or anything. He is the one who is provider, the provider. He is telling us that he is in need of us. The only thing he's asking is to obey and worship. The rest is upon him to give us what we need. In another verse he says, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. Another verse he says, and O Muhammad, if my slaves ask about me, I am too close for them. I will respond to their supplication. So this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very close to us. He is asking only one thing, to worship Him. But everything has to be in accordance and condition. As our verse says, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. I am too close to the people, to my slaves, if they ask. But you're going to ask, you have to do something in return, let's say. It's not something that you cannot afford. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. Let them respond to me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he mentioned, وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. What is he asking? To obey me in the name of Allah. Allah is asking, obey me, believe in me, and believe in what I say. But in obedience, it's not just, oh Allah will say. Obeying is following the teaching and the commands of our deen, our religion, our tradition. Of course, we all know the 5 pillars of Islam. But believing is not only to just remember it, we have to do action. Believe is first to understand that Allah is the only one, is the creator, the provider, the one above all that he has the power to do anything. Second is to believe that Allah is the provider, that we depend on him. It's not only he has the power, but we really depend on him. فَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي وَلْيَتَوَكَّلُوا عَلَيْهِ. To believe in, to do as much as we can as a believer. To understand that our religion is a merciful religion, is to obey, to help, to contribute, to be as much as we can, compete against each other to do better. And as we are better, we'll have a better reward. In other verses, Al-Quran is a miracle from the time it came to the day of judgment. The reason I'm saying this is because the Quran, one verse you can say, other verse can complete it or explain it, and vice versa. Not only this, the Quran is a miracle, continuous miracle to the day of the judgment. Why? Because every verse we say, or we read or we learn, it can be applied at the time it is revealed, and at the time you read it, it doesn't matter the history, the century you are in, or how much is advancing you think you are, or how much backward you are. The verses can be applied in any time, anywhere. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we mentioned now, as we say, فَلَسْتَجِيبُ لِي. We have to respond to Allah. It doesn't matter from the time of the Prophet, even now, and even the generations coming after us. So as human beings, we still believe in the Quran. So the Quran guides us to be as good Muslims as much as we can. So, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَ وَالْجِنَّ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I am telling you, Muhammad subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you just the human being and the jinn are created for only one reason, to worship. But they have to obey, not only to worship. Worshiping is obeying. And not only this, you have to follow up. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. All humankind in Quran has the wow actually here in general. In many verses of the Quran, especially in the last surah and verses, we can see many times Allah started with what? والتين والزيتون والعصر والليل إذا يغشى, etc. etc. This means it's a swear. Allah is swearing. Allah is mentioning something here. So it's saying what? That means there's something coming after that word, something big. والعصر والليل إذا يغشى والتين والزيتون. I'm swearing. Allah cannot swear whatever He wants. He's swearing with sometimes الزيتون, sometimes al-asr, which is the era or the time of asr. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. He's swearing something. That means when I swear, when I talk to somebody and I want to swear, oh, I swear this is true or this is genuine or whatever. That means I am affirming that there's something coming after. But Allah says, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Oh, human being, you're all in a loss. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Only those who believe, آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Only those will not be lost who believe, do the good deeds, and remind each other to be good in their life and good to each other. Reminding each other to follow and be good to each other. This verse, I'm just saying, to go back again, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. So Allah is saying, I am close to you, my servant, but you have to believe in me and respond to me. Responding, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. You can see, actually, the verse is one leading to the other. If you are a believer, آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. آمنوا. If you are a believer, then you should do the action, which is the good deeds. الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. You are a believer, you should do some good things in your life. So you can see that آمنوا وعملوا, it just followed the first word. So it just continues and tells you how to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it in a way that, as I said, it's a miracle that continues until it is judgment. If you are a true believer, you will do the good deeds. You will remind your brothers to do a good deed. You will remind your brother to be good to others too, to be patient on the good things and the bad things. Be patient when something happens in your life. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون. As you mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the provider. He does not need anything. How hard for us is just to obey. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد منهم أن يطعمون. I don't need them, my servant. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. I'm just asking you to obey. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the provider. In Allah who are Himself. Allah is the provider. Don't worry about what's going to happen to you after. You are a true believer. You believe in Allah. You believe that He is the one that guides you. He is taking care of you. Every one of us now, alhamdulillah, or many will be, inshallah, fathers and parents. We were young kids. We didn't know anything about this stuff. We just, sit down and I see my father that when I want something, he just provides it. He brings it to me. I am not even in a worry of what's happening or how it's coming or why. Oh, I need something. I need to go to school. I need tuition. I need clothing. I need food. I have never questioned how did my father do it. If I had that belief in my father, and he's a human being, how is my belief and iman in my God, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it the same way as you are? We grow up, we have fear. We grow up and we have stress and tension and all these things that happen in life. That's normal. We are human beings. But are we believers to come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believe that He is the one, that He is guiding us and providing us? فَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, believe in me. So we have to have that strong belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is the provider. He is the provider. Not just, oh, He's the provider. I'll look at it after. I have to put it in my heart. I have to put it in my mind. Nothing happens without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody passed with a hardship or a bad time. Again, so Allah says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, reminding each other in good and to be patient on the good and bad. Everything comes back to each verse completing the other. It's one verse explaining the other. This is to make you understand that Allah has a complete Quran, that a complete way of life for us, not to worry about anything. Just have a strong belief that He is Allah, He is the provider, He is the one that we have to depend on Him, and we will get whatever we want, whatever we ask. Put that in your mind and your heart. We many times lose our jobs. The next day, I have to pull my hair. I'm stressed. Where am I going to find a job? How am I going to feed my children? How am I going to pay my mortgage or my rent? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? All these comes up in 1 second. You have to wake up. Allah created you. He's not going to leave you. You brought your child to life. You do anything you can to give him food at least and keep him in a good place and safe. You won't let him go and suffer to need anything. You do that as a human being and you struggle. But Allah is the provider. He's not going to struggle to feed you. In Hadith Qudsi, say, so of course, we know the difference is the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Hadith Qudsi. When he says, عبدي خلقت السماوات والأرض وما أعياني خلقهن أفيعيني رغيف خبز أسيبه إليك الأمين. O my slave, I have created earth and heavens, and I haven't been tired just creating them. Is it hard for me to provide a piece of bread once in a while to you? How hard is that for Allah? You have to put it in your mind and your heart. Allah is the provider. But He's asking one thing from you. Just obey, worship, and believe in Him. You have to put that strong belief in your heart and your mind. Once you have that, you may have a little hard time. What's happening? As I said, we're human, this is earth. But put the belief that Allah will never forget you. He is always with you. Sometimes it's just for us. It's just like a test, you know? As we say, some parents use that, an ear squeeze to wake you up. So if you put him in hardship, not because he's enjoying it, he wants the best of you. He wants to elevate you at a different level. You go in this, you pass the hardship, that means you pass this test. Not only he will put you back in your line and your route and your life, but he will reward you. The reward can be in many ways. It can be now, like okay, I found you a better job that you wear because you lost your job. Wouldn't that be better? You stressed out when you lost your job. You lost a car maybe, or something to your apartment or something. Something else happened. If you be patient, Allah will reward you. It's not the same, but Allah is always generous. He's always better than that. He will give you better. You have to believe in that. So put the belief that whatever happens, anything comes in, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just a test. It's a check on us. Are we still a believer? Are we still believers in Him? Are we still following? Are we still obeying? It's not hard for us to come in, not in here, thinking of the us. 5 times a day, 5 minutes each night. When you have the time. We are in a different country than, let's say, Muslim country and mosques is everywhere. Sometimes at work, I can pray Dhuhr at 12:30 or 1 exactly. Okay, I'm finished, I'll pray at 2 o'clock. But my point is, how hard is it to obey and just to do this 5 minutes? And whenever I have the breath to do it. 5 minutes. And not continuous, not going to take all day. A break time at work, I can go. My salat will complete. How hard is it when I go in my neighbor or my brother? Salam alaikum. That's a good word. That's a good deed. How hard is it for us, even if I'm a Muslim, I see him on the road, give him a hand or help. That's not only a good deed, but if you know that I'm Muslim and I'm doing it, that's a spread of religion too. Like, look, our religion. Anything you do is good for you in any way. Please put this in your mind that Allah is not asking too much. He's not telling you to specify 8 hours for Him as you specify 8 hours for work for us to provide. It's when you can. It's how much you can. I'm not asking over the limit. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا واستغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse, He mentioned the prayer of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it's the way He mentioned it. He started Inna Allah wa malaikatahu. Allah Himself first, then His angel. Pray on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. See how big it is to pray on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially on Fridays. So if Allah started this job by Himself, then us should actually follow and pray on the Prophet ﷺ. to show us how big it is and how important it is to give the salat ala Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He started himself. He didn't say, I order you to pray on the Prophet. Then it will be as just an order, as just a regular routine to do. But he started himself to show you how good it is. And he's not giving it as an order. He's saying, all believers, pray on him. It's just like as a gesture, as a big thing to pray on the Prophet, to show us how big. So pray on the Prophet, especially on Fridays. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تخزنا يوم القيامة رب اغفر لي ولوالدي رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا أقم الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحين كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باخع نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجاعلون ما عليها صعيدا جرزا أم حسبت أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khairan for coming to Jumaah today. On behalf of Brother Ibrahim, I wanted to speak on one thing before everyone leaves, inshallah, in terms of donations. This is a masjid, alhamdulillah, that we all enjoy with our families, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers, that we're able to congregate with and enjoy ourselves in barakah on a regular and daily practice. This is a place where, subhanAllah, this is phase one of a number of different stages. And inshallah, this will not be the permanent residence of Masjid Dalil. And for that, it will take an entire community for us to be able to move to the other location that we're planning to go to. And ideally, the goal is for this to be a place of masjid, of worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like our Shaykh mentioned, for us to be able to come together and speak regularly and remind each other, but also even to have the youth regularly participate in goodness, recreational activities, and things of that nature. For these sort of things to happen, we have to be mindful of the fact, and this is a reminder to myself first and foremost, that the blessings that we've received in our finances, in our risk, in our sustenance, these are things when we donate for the sake of a masjid like this, we are guaranteed for it to come back to us. This is never going to be something that we take out of our money and we lose. This is not a place where the salary is paid for the staff and people are making their own livelihood out of it. Every donation is a donation for your own goodness. It is an investment for your Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah, with all of our loved ones. So please be mindful. There's going to constantly be spaces for us to have more conversations and to learn more as well. But inshallah, if everybody could donate just a bit of money today, whether it's $20, $30, $50, $100, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what you're capable of, and I wouldn't advise anyone to go beyond their means. But there are pledges and there are brothers who are going around. If you aren't able to pay today, you can contribute to something to promise to pay later. If anybody's interested, raise your hand, inshallah. And the brothers will be going around and passing that along. So whether it's $20, $30, $50, jazakallah khairan hafiz, please go around. This is going to be something that's going to take a little bit more than the regular payments that we make, $10, $20 for Jumaah. The Ramadan is right around the corner, inshallah. We all make it, bidnillah. But there's going to be food programming. There's going to be something for those outside of our community to come and speak within the masjid and learn more about our deen. There's going to be a number of programs, and we want these things to continue. SubhanAllah, we are guests right now underneath a medical residence. We will not be here permanently, and we are lucky enough to have been here for this long. So inshallah, if we are able to pay, the brothers are there at the side for a pledge. May Allah make it easy for all of us, Ameen, to contribute to these sort of things. And there will be a halakha after, inshallah, as well, which is just one of the number of programmings going on, inshallah. So may Allah reward you all, jazakallah khair, and may Allah make it easy for ourselves and our brothers in Palestine, Congo, and Sudan, and other places of oppression as well. Ameen.